What's up, MFFLs? Harrison Graham and Jeffrey Cooperstein here with you with another episode of Mavericks Today. Coop had a nice little 4-day weekend, so we are back in the studio here. And Coop, ESPN dropped their top 25 players of the 21st century, so 2000 until now. And there's a few Mavs on the list, so we thought we'd have some fun and kind of break this down a little bit.
Yeah, let's jump right into it. The Mavs had 3 players on the list. You obviously had the GOAT Dirk, who was at 10, Jason Kidd at 14, which kind of surprised me, and then Luka Doncic checking in at 25 already after just 6 years in the NBA.
And a little honorable mention, obviously he's more known for other teams. Steve Nash was what, 12?
He was 12.
So, 4 guys in the top 25 that played with this franchise for at least multiple years.
The discussion that I wanted to kind of transition this to at first is, does this mean that Luka Doncic is already a Hall of Famer? Because
I think he is. I think last year kind of probably put him in. Like, if he had some career-ending injury or something like that, I do think he'd get in, especially with how soft the parameters are, I would say, for the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm not saying scrubs get in there, but I mean, you've got guys
that shouldn't be in there.
You have guys like 2- and 3-time All-Stars getting in first ballot. It's like, okay, this is a little much, but I mean, look, he's 5-time first-team All-NBA. He was Rookie of the Year. He's played in 2 conference finals. He's played in NBA finals. He's finished top 3 in an MVP race. I think that gets you into the Hall of Fame. Like, if he was an average player for 10 more years, what's the difference, right? So I do think he's in. You look at the career numbers. I mean, he averages close to a 30-point triple-double. Yeah, I think he would be in right now, and obviously he's got, barring some major injury or other situation, another decade plus in him. So
that hopefully does not happen. And then this stat is always mind-blowing to me when I see it. Only Michael Jordan has a higher career playoff scoring average than Luka through his first 6 years in the league. Last time I checked, that Michael Jordan guy is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think the bigger question is how high can Luka get? Can he become a top 10 player all time? Is top 5 feasible? I think to get that high, you're talking about multiple MVPs, multiple championships. So, I mean, he's obviously got a ways to go in that regard. But, like, if he's just who he's been to start his career for another decade and say he wins 1 title and 1 MVP, that's going to lock him into the top 20 all time, I would think, and potentially knocking on the door of top 10 all time.
Just looking at the guys who are around him on the list, you have Pau Gasol, who I absolutely think is a Hall of Famer. Russell Westbrook, I don't think he is. He will make the Hall of Fame.
He will get in.
Draymond Green, Tony Parker, and Ray Allen. That's your 20 through 25.
Look, I'll say this about Russ. I'm not a Russ guy, but he's played in the finals. He's won an MVP. Like, he's in. The longevity's there. I think that's worthy of getting in. Now,
I agree.
I also think the Hall of Fame is kind of like, I mean, obviously, like, the best player in the Hall of Fame is significantly better than the 125th best player in the Hall of Fame. And, I think Russ would be kind of near the bottom, but I do think he should be in. And, yeah, I think the answer to this question is yes. I think Luka is already a Hall of Famer, especially considering the Basketball Hall of Fame, which, I think compared to some of the other pro sports is easier to get into.
Absolutely agree. Type Y for yes, type N for no. Do you guys think Luka is already a Hall of Famer? And now, Harrison, we have to tell them about today's sponsor.
Shout out to Game Time. And going to go to some Mavs games this winter and spring. You can do that. Cowboys season around the corner. Got preseason, regular season tickets already on sale. You can get them with Game Time. And what Game Time specializes in is last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals. They want to get you into these events for the best price available. They guarantee the lowest price guarantee. $20 off with promo code ChatSports for your first purchase only when you go create an account today. So download Game Time. Terms apply there. And listen, Game Time app is very user-friendly. You can see exactly what your vantage point will be. Like if you click on a specific ticket that you're looking to purchase, it'll have kind of a full, 360 kind of wraparound view where you can kind of slide left and right to know exactly what you're going to be looking at. And if you're going to an arena, stadium, concert venue for the first time, that's very critical because what you don't want to do is blindly buy a ticket, get there, and A, not know where the hell to go, and B, think your vantage point isn't that good. So with Game Time, you can see exactly what your vantage point is going to be. $20 off. Code Chat Sports. Your first purchase only. Terms apply. Get out of your house and go to a concert, go to a sporting event today. Okay, Jason Kidd here, Coop, at 14. Obviously, he was the point guard of the championship team, played a vital role that year. It's interesting because Jason Kidd was an old-school point guard.
He was.
He wasn't super explosive. He wasn't a shoot-first guy. He became a good three-point shooter later in his career, but his career averages there as a shooter. Obviously not that great, but just a true floor general for, 10, 12 years of his career.
Yeah, he was fantastic, especially later in his career when he ended up getting traded to the Mavs. Mavs certainly don't win the championship without him, without his veteran presence. He was a fantastic player for the New Jersey Nets for a long time as well. And look, he deserves to be on this list. He is one of the best point guards the game has ever seen. Steve Nash was there at 12. You could argue that Kidd's better than Nash, but I think there's arguments both ways there.
Yeah, I mean, Nash has got 2 MVPs. I think he was more dynamic offensively and certainly a better shooter, but Kidd was a better defender, has the championship pedigree. So, I think 12, 14, them being very close, almost back-to-back, is probably accurate.
I do think Luka having Jason Kidd to learn from, though, is absolutely huge because Luka sees the game at a different level than everyone else, but Jason Kidd sees the game at the level that Luka does. So Luka having someone to relate to, someone to be able to bounce ideas off of in Jason Kidd, I do think that's a huge part of what his development has been in the last 3 years and turning him into a truly elite player because Kidd understands what he's going through on the court.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that relationship has been solid since day one. It's, in 2 or 3 seasons, conference finals are better. So obviously it's worked up to this point in time. And sometimes fit is everything. And
no doubt.
Jason Kidd certainly had to battle through a couple of other coaching opportunities, but it's been a good fit here in Dallas. And I think Luka has certainly enjoyed having him as his head coach. Hit the subscribe button here on Dallas Mavericks Today. We're inching closer to 30,000 subs. If you want more Mavericks news, rumors, trade buzz, mailbag episodes, we'll drop another mailbag this coming weekend. Be sure to subscribe today, youtube.com/MavsTV. Then you got Dirk at number 10. Until, further notice, the best Mav of all time. Look, you got the note there, Coop. He changed the game with his floor spacing. He kind of created a shot that you see emulated all the time.
Absolutely.
With his one-legged fade. Obviously one of the more efficient shooting bigs in NBA history. I still think the best shooting big in NBA history. Now more and more guys are doing it, so we'll see if that lasts long term. But he was kind of the pioneer of that as a true 4-5 that could space the floor and shoot the rock.
I can tell you who it's not. It's not Karl Anthony Towns, who
Yeah.
he claims to be the best of all time.
Yeah, that's a joke. And people forget how athletic Dirk was earlier in his career.
Yeah.
I think people who were 25 and younger, they just kind of remembered the guy who just sat on the perimeter late in his career and was a good shooter and still effective. But, he was obviously awesome and is still a good pioneer for the Mavs in terms of being around and everything. And, you go from Dirk to Luka. That's pretty lucky for a franchise that's not the Lakers or the Celtics.
I was literally going to say, outside of basically the Lakers, who went from Kobe to LeBron essentially, and who the Celtics, who have gone from superstar to superstar as well. Not many teams have been able to go from Dirk to Luka like the Mavs have, so they've definitely gotten lucky in that aspect.
Yeah. So now, by the way, D Wade at 8, KG at 6 on this list. I think Dirk should be higher than those two guys.
D-Wade's an absolute fraud, and then Dirk's son KG in the postseason multiple times. So what are we doing here?
Yeah, very. KG had to team up with 2 other stars to even be a threat in the playoffs, much less a title contender.
Joke.
Whereas Dirk won a title with no other All-Stars. So I just don't like.
Tell it like it
I
is
get
here.
Garnett's a better defender and everything, but context matters in these discussions, and Wade at least won a title before LeBron and Bosh got there. Garnett couldn't get out of the first round with Minnesota. So, it's just I disagree with that part of it.
Wholeheartedly.
Some Olympic updates. Canada and Australia played today, and a couple of Mavs involved, obviously. Dwight Powell, who, I'll tell you what, Coop, He's a much better international player than he is an NBA player.
Easier game for him. He can just sit there in the paint and grab rebounds off the rim. He had a good game, though. In 26 minutes, he had 7 points and 9 boards. Canada got the win as well. He's their starting center, and he's playing a lot of minutes. He's playing more.
He was kind of clamping up Embiid when they played in a exhibition. Now, Joel Embiid's been a disaster, but still.
He's playing more minutes here than he will for the Mavs pretty much all season, so there's that.
Yeah, his total minutes in this Olympic run, if you count the prelims.
They might exceed. I'm not even kidding.
It might add up to more than what he plays for the Mavericks. Dante Exum, nice game in a losing effort, 15 points.
6 of 9 from the field, only 1 3-pointer, so he was getting to the rim a little bit.
I guess that finger's okay.
Finger's good, yep. He missed their opener, but he came back and looked pretty solid in the game.
So are they 1-1 now?
Australia's 1-1, yep.
So they're going to need to win their next game to get through. Canada 2-0 now, so they're pretty much through. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the Olympic basketball games kind of play out. U.S. back in action tomorrow or today?
I think it's Wednesday. It's not today. Yeah, tomorrow.
Coop took Monday off.
I did. This is my Monday.
We'll keep tabs on any notable updates from the Olympics. But there you have it. Let us know what you guys think about the list from ESPN. You can find it pretty easily. Just go to their website. He's Jeffrey Cooperstein. I'm Harrison Graham. More content to come. We'll see you soon.
See you soon.